These guys are going to sound good coming on the tri-oval.
Trying to go around the outside. I wonder if almost thought Kyle had a problem there for a second as they both come accelerating out of that international horseshoe. Outside of Kyle Wyman in the horseshoe. So Greg, also, Wyman comes into this race. He did not go out for one this morning. He's got a tick of the flu or something. Wasn't feeling his best. But this is what you'd expect from Troy Herfoss, isn't it? After having the issue yesterday, this guy won the championship with grit last year, and he's leading it again right now. They're leading this race to head up on the banking.
As the #1 S&S Indian motorcycle, that's on a Challenger. Troy Herfoss goes on the banking.
Even gets worse because they got the bags on the side, and it makes it almost impossible to save.
So a bummer for him, and yes, Max Flinders did not start the race, as we were told earlier. And mechanical problems in the team just couldn't get it fixed in time. So this race, to these two, these were the two that were locked in the championship battle. Herfoss, Kyle Wyman, wanted in the draft again, and you have a look at that ultra weather. Beautiful, 72 degrees. Not a ton of wind either, so this is all racing as Kyle takes over the lead from Herfoss. And there's Rispoli right behind him as well. Tyler O'Hara in the mix as well. Let's get down to the third member of our broadcast team.
I talked to Troy Herfoss ahead of the weekend. He said it's a little bit different of a feel coming into the Daytona weekend compared to last year. Last year he was the new guy. He felt like Kyle was the guy. There was not a lot of expectations for him to perform well. So 2 second-place finishes.
Here, it's grab as many points as we can as you get a look at Onsort and Hayden Gillum. Let's grab as many points as we can. Let's get out of Daytona and then go race some of these other tracks.
It's your daddy's road glides, that's for sure. Holy shit.
He's still back there, yeah. He's still back there, but they've just, this front four just pulled a little bit away from Tyler O'Hara, who told me yesterday, Greg, that he just had a couple of little issues with the bike that he was trying to sort out during the race. And he got that short. So now we got a little bit of a breakaway of 4 riders. 2 factory Indians, obviously. Sandwiched in between them are the 2 factory Harley Davidsons of Wyman and Rispoli.
First full lap goes to Loris Bands, 150.422. Fast
250.
And
That's
by the
pretty
way,
damn
play
good.
Moto America for cash. Baggers and Super Sports Series are now live on top Sportbook and DFS platforms. Scan the flow code or visit nxtbets.com/PlayMA. Results available. To the top of the pile. It closes up after that drafted pass, but then it starts to separate through the infield. Rispoli continues, as we've seen from last year, a little bit loose Jay on the exit of corners.
What I'm liking though out of James that we've seen in the past is it looks like there's always a lot of franticness. Even though we're still seeing a little bit of movement from him on the exits, the entries to these corner now from Rispoli look a lot smoother, although as I say that, gets a little bit sideways on him. But again, I think he looks a lot smoother on this bike right now. They've been toying with seat heights and things on the Harley for James, and they've come to find a few things that seem to work for him a little bit better. So these guys have been working a lot as far as testing goes and trying to get their bike even better right now. And you can see the front three guys are just
Badass.
not fast, but right now it's kind of starting to turn into a three-rider race. Guys, if he's not careful, as they come out of the chicane, he does a nice job of pulling up on the back of these guys. He's got to do something special. Look at how good Lawrence went through the middle of that chicane. He was able to get that big Indian Tiger in the middle of it and close that gap. And now he's going to get the benefit of the track, but I fear he's starting to lose it.
For Lawrence Bass, he's still learning the track. This is his first time circulating Daytona on the high banks, albeit on a bagger. And he said the banking itself wasn't actually the challenge. It's figuring out the infield.
Holy shit. Now I gotta get a rope.
Seems to be losing a little bit when they get on
Not wrong.
to make it up to the brakes. Works bad right now. Very impressive performance.
You know, most tracks that we go to, Greg, I would tell you that doesn't have really a home track advantage. However, at this place, there's more than just the track that you have to learn. You have to learn how to race around this place. And you know, one of the very famous quotes I used to hear all the time about Scott Russell, 5-time Daytona 200 winner, was that it was almost like he was able to see the air around here, you know, and how it circulates and how it goes around. And I think that, you know, was that Rispoli?
Yeah, James Rispoli. Track worker's going to help Rispoli remount and get going. Hopefully Rispoli can score some points if that bike is rideable. Sands the bag. I bet they're pulling on the banking a little bit, but let part of your
Halfway
screen
through.
the race as Rispoli continues, and it looks like he's not going to be able to. Out of this race, lost the front, and that'll be it for him until the next one. But back up front we go, the number one in the slipstream. Is he going to be able to do it?
Harley's up front, the two Indians are in second place. Second, third.
Again, he just tucks it a little bit, and then the second that front goes, that bag is going to be probably one of the next things to hit. You see the disappointment there. Two non-finishes in Daytona for James. It's a shame. But now you're going to get to see what this is all about. That front, look at Wyman putting his head down, trying to make a break through this infield. And yesterday, I felt like he was a little better in the infield and putting a little bit of pressure on Troy. And we saw Troy slide off in this next turn, but you can see here, the lap looks a little bit easier for Kyle right now than it does for Troy, and just through this infield part at least.
Baz just losing that touch with Rispoli being gone. Let's look at Baz. He spins so much coming onto the banking. Jay was 2 quarters ago.
each other really
Indian
fair,
took the
really
lead on that lap there.
which is going to be fun. Now,
On the straightaway.
it's a matter of, Kyle put his head down the best he could through that infield split. It was the fastest split for him. I'll tell you who's got the fastest split in the first sector here is Rocco Landers. So Rocco Landers actually has the fastest first split of anybody, and he's trying to get this lap as well. He's got back-to-back fastest first splits.
Yeah, but it's hard because Herb Voss set the fastest lap of the race last time by 150.083. With Troy Herfoss's first race on the bagger in the United States. And so Troy's had it done to him twice, but Kyle knows what he needs to do. So as we go to one lap to go, we'll see what these two veterans have in store for us.
Yeah, Troy's almost got to feel just a little bit snake bit at this place with the two results last year when he had the fucking super. As they came out of the chicane. Then here we go again. Again, now they're brake checking each other. So, Bass could get a double bike draft all the way to the line. These guys don't. Let's see if Kyle has a look back here to see what happens as they go through here, because now he's going to have a big number 76. There it is. So now Kyle knows. So now the psychology between all three of these guys is going to be really interesting. And Baz, all he wants to do is get in that draft enough down the back straightaway where he can stay there. Like,
Herfoss spins it. The Baz doesn't really have the to get it done. So Kyle's like, I'm done messing around. Let me see if I can lead this again. If I can win this from the front. This is Daytona. Being in the lead bike doesn't always pay off. It can, but it doesn't always. So Kyle Lyman's like, playtime's over, let's go to the chicane. Now Kyle's going to have the perfect run through the chicane. There's Lawrence Baz. He gets a good drive out of there. And Jay, what do you think?
I think Troy's in the captain seat this time, and I think he's going to have no problem drafting past Kyle. They're going to be
There it is,
getting
coming up.
here right about now, and he's going to be getting sucked into the draft pretty violently at this moment, and you're going to see him.
He's trying to break the draft.
Is he going to be able to do it?